is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.
Hey there, welcome back to Successfully Chaotic. If you've been following along, you know we have been diving into all things storytelling, but today we are wrapping it all up with the heart of it all, building community through shared stories. Look, life and business are not just about checking boxes or hitting numbers. They're really about connection, real, messy human connection. And the best way to foster that is through sharing your story and sharing it unapologetically. So go ahead and grab your coffee or your tea or your cacao or whatever warm beverage that sets your soul on fire. Go ahead and settle in and let's talk about how your story can bring people together. All right. You know, it is easy to think storytelling is just for books and movies. It is not. The truth of the matter is how we make sense of the world is through stories. When I started this podcast, I literally did not have all the answers. Actually, I had very, very few answers. And I still don't have all the answers. But what I did have was a story and a willingness to share. The moment that I started talking about the chaos of juggling kids, a kid on the spectrum, a business, a life, people reached out saying, wow, I thought it was just me. Because that's the magic of storytelling. It reminds us that we're not alone. And that has been my goal from day one is to share things that you can do, things that I've learned along the way, but also to share those messy middles because those are so connecting and it makes people feel like they're not the only person going through those things. And your story doesn't have to be perfect or polished. It just has to be real. Because when you share your truth, you open the door for others to do the same. And that, my friends, is how communities are built. Before we go deeper, let's take a quick walk down memory lane because in this series, we've talked about techniques for engaging storytelling and we unpacked how to grab attention and keep the attention with your stories. We also talked about storytelling and healing, and we explored how sharing our struggles can heal not just us, but those that hear our stories as well. And we also talked about leveraging storytelling across all platforms. And, it's all about sharing the right story in the right way wherever your audience is. So if you missed any of those, go back and listen. It's, season 11. And, each one of these gives you tools to step into your story with confidence. All right. So back to how to build a community through stories. So here's the thing. Community doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you show up, when you share, and when you invite others to do the same. I know we like to think that it's just like we just like draw people in and everybody magically, comes to the same location. And that's not how it works, right? We get connected. We get connected whenever someone shows up, they share, and we feel like we can share as well. And this bond, this connection forms. So if we know that, the question is, how do we do that? Well, the first thing is to be brave enough to be seen. Vulnerability is scary, but it is also the glue that holds communities together. When you say, here's where I struggle, here's kind of my messiness, here's the things that I fall on my face on a regular basis, the things I have to relearn all the time, it gives someone else the courage to say, me too. I know one of the things for me is I always say I'm a, recovering people pleaser, and I accidentally fall into that again. I'm also addicted to busyness, and I fall off the wagon into that all the time. I do great at boundaries sometimes, and I suck at them other times, and I slip off that wagon, right? I think we all have those things, those natural gutter balls, as I say, right? Those natural things that even though we know better, we sometimes slowly go back into those patterns again. And, that's something that, being vulnerable about that has allowed me to connect with other people because those are common. And I think when you talk about your struggles, you allow somebody to go, "Oh my gosh, me too." Because I think that is the thing with entrepreneurship as a whole is sometimes I think that people have this idea they have to have it all together. No, you don't have to have it all together. You have to have that thing that you're offering together. But the rest of your life, everybody struggles with something. I don't care who it is. You pick your favorite, idol, the person you look up to the most. They've got messy middles too. And I think that is the thing that I would really suggest you do. If you're wanting to build a community, you have to be brave enough to be seen. All right. Number 2, celebrate the stories of others. Building a community isn't about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about amplifying others. Highlight someone else's story in your newsletter or on social media. You know, being able to allow other people that platform to share is the greatest gift. And I think that, being able to allow them to share their story in their own authentic way in a safe place is, again, a great gift. And that leads me to number 3, create safe spaces. Whether it's a Facebook group or your podcast, you want to create places where people feel safe to share. That might mean setting boundaries or leading with kindness and empathy. But when you do these things, your community will grow. Community grows when people feel seen, heard, and valued. And you have the power to create that. All right. So now it's your turn. You've heard my story. You've been a part of this series, and I know you have something powerful to share. So if you're sitting here thinking, I've got a story that can help someone, I want to hear it. Whether it's about your business journey, your wins, your failures, your story matters. I would like you to head on over to Successfully Chaotic's Be a Guest page. The link is in the show notes of the show you're listening to right now. And let's chat. And if you can't find it, just go to www.successfullychaotic.com/be-a-guest. And you should be able to come to the contact form to be able to fill that out. All right. Here's the truth. The world needs to hear more real stories. Stories that inspire, stories that connect, stories that remind us that we're not alone. And as we wrap up this series, I want to leave you with this. I want you to remember that your story has power, whether it's messy, whether it's chaotic, whether it's downright beautiful. Actually, it's all beautiful, right? And it also has the ability to connect and build something bigger than you. So I want you to encourage you to keep sharing, keep showing up. And if you need a reminder that it's okay to be human, warts and all, this podcast is here for you. I'm here for you. Scars, warts, and all. So thank you for being a part of this journey. Until next time, keep embracing your chaos and sharing your story, because it's through our stories that we create something truly extraordinary.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights.